talk about slow stitching, what is slow stitching, and also about what needles, what materials to use, what you need to start off with slow stitching. It's really, I don't want to overcomplicate it because this is the easiest, most relaxing project, and that's what I want to show. Now, I have some needles here in different sizes, okay? And when I say sizes, that's the eye, how big the eye is and how blunt the tip is. So the first one, this one is a sharp embroidery needle. So as you can see, the eye is very tiny, okay? Very tiny, a very thin needle and rather short. You wouldn't want to really slow stitch with this unless you're slow stitching on some, a delicate fabric, a real tiny thin fabric. This is my favorite slow stitching needle, okay? This is a chenille needle, okay? It's got this gold tips. Not all chenilles have this, but I recognize it easily because of this gold tip, and it's got a larger eye, okay? And that's what you use for slow stitching, and I will show you why in a minute. This one right here, this is a tapestry needle, okay? This is best, it's got the larger eye, so you can see how much larger this eye is. And it's got a blunt tip, so it doesn't hurt at all. This is good if you want to weave stitches in and out. It's a very good needle for that. It doesn't catch on your threads or anything. And when I say weave, I'm talking about weaving, okay? This is an example of slow stitching. So, and it's pretty much what I call it, it's mindless stitching. You can stitch and watch TV, you don't have a pattern, you just stitch for the enjoyment, to calm you, and things like that. So I like to use that for weaving. And then this last needle, this is my favorite, but this isn't my favorite for slow stitching. See how tiny? Here we go, let's do this. See how tiny the eye is? Very tiny, and it's a very skinny, long needle. Now I like to use this for very tiny, delicate stitching and embroidery work, kind of like this, where I use one strand, and pretty much one strand is all I can get in here. Or if I wanted to add beadwork, it's for very intricate, tiny embroidery work. I'm working right now, this is not slow stitching. Of course, I've got my thread here, but I'm working on a tea towel, and I like to use everything I make. So for this one, we'll just be using it to wipe clean hands with, or dry dishes that are clean with it. But this right here, I'm use this needle for, because it's tiny, delicate work, okay? I'm making daisies and baby's breath, my most favorite flowers, baby's breath. You can see right here. I love that. So that's what I'm making. So that's what you would use that type of needle for, or even the smaller embroidery needle that I showed to you first, which is this one. If I can pick it up, yep. Okay, but see the difference? And see how much smaller the beaded needle is? Put it on another piece of fabric here. There we go. Now maybe you can see it better. Okay, so see the difference there? So why wouldn't I use this for slow stitching? Well, this is the reason. I would choose one of these, and I'd probably go with the chenille more than the tapestry. The tapestry I could use, but see how thick that is compared to these other needles? See how thick that is? Okay, for tiny linen fabric, it's gonna really dent and cause large holes in your fabric. So unless you have something very loose weave, well, this towel right here, this is a flour sack, and it's very loose weave. If you have loose weave, it's going to be forgiving and go right back. But if you have like linen, which is tighter woven, you don't want to use that. You want to use a smaller needle. So you can really slow stitch with anything. Slow stitching, like I said, doesn't have a motif. It doesn't have a pattern. You just stitch. Just stitch for the fun of it. Go whatever direction you want and enjoy it. Okay. Embroidery, that's the difference. Embroidery, you have a pattern or you make something with it. You make an image with embroidery. Slow stitching, you don't. So I would use this one. And most people, when they slow stitch, they use a pearl cotton. Okay, you can get this where your embroidery thread is. This is just a pearl cotton thread. Okay, it has the same numbers as your regular embroidery floss, okay, but it's different. So see this, it doesn't separate in 6 strands. It's just 1 strand. Now, if you don't have any pearl cotton, you can use regular embroidery floss, but it takes all 6 strands to equal the thickness of 1 pearl cotton strand. I know it's different colors, but let me do this so you can see. See, it's basically the same thickness. Okay, so you can use this, but as you can see, obviously we couldn't get it through one of these tiny needles here. We couldn't get that thread through here. The only way we could get any thread is this, and it wouldn't be the 6 strands, it would be 1 strand to go through there. But the chenille is a lot more likely to take it. It's still a little tough. Let me see if I have a end here. Do I have one on here? I just got this the other day because I'm doing some slow stitching and I needed some pearl cotton. Okay, well, you get the idea here. So see, it would go right through a lot easier here. I don't have my glasses, so I can't see to do this. But it'd go through a lot easier in even the tapestry needle. But again, I would shy away from the tapestry needle unless you have a very, very smooth or very open weave fabric, okay? So, and then obviously there's no way you would get, you would get this through even with the needle threader. That's what I needed to bring over here is a needle threader because I can't see, I don't have my glasses, but there's no way you could get that through, okay? So you could get it through the tapestry needle or the chenille. And again, I recommend the chenille because it's got a wide eye, but it's not near as thick and it's not gonna be as damaging to your fabric. Now, if you have linen and you only want to use linen, then I would go for more of the embroidery needle, but you're not gonna have this thicker look right here. Okay, this is using 6 strands. You're not gonna have that look. You're gonna have a very delicate look, okay? You can make just all sorts of little lines and stuff with this smaller, okay? But if you're gonna like slow stitching most of it, I don't have any examples here, but it's pretty much sewing things on another piece of fabric. So if I wanted to, I would take my chenille needle and put one of these thicker pearl cottons in there, thread it, and then I would just weave in and out, okay? It's slow stitching is basically running stitches or little tiny seed stitches. It's made to relax with. It's not made to concentrate with. I hope I'm making sense. So that's what I would use here. And this is just canvas, so this will take needles and it won't hurt it. It's a looser weave. And let's see, a tapestry needle shouldn't bother it. Yeah, but see, it's still kind of, that's why I'm just kind of leery with the tapestry needles. I would do, again, a looser cheesecloth almost type for tapestry, unless you've got a very wide, like I said, a wide or Aida cloth that's maybe size 10 or 8, you know, so big wide holes or something, then you could use that. But I love the chenille the most because it has the largest eye and the least likely to ruin your fabric. So again, slow stitching is all about, everything depends on what you're using. And my biggest suggestion, okay, is if you have a favorite needle, that's fine, but you're gonna have to kind of practice and see which threads fit in your particular needle's eye, okay? And then I would do a test piece of fabric. If you really, really like this tapestry needle, test a piece of fabric first and see, you know, just do a little swatch, a little running stitch, and see what it does. See if it damages the fabric or if you like it, especially if you have bad eyes like I do. I've got very bad eyes without my glasses, but you know, you're not going to be able to tell unless you, I mean, you're going to want a larger eye to thread unless you have a needle threader. Okay. And that's the funny thing, is this is my most favorite needle, but it takes me a while to get one little strand through this, because if I'm not wearing my glasses, I'm doomed. So anyway, I hope this helped answer your questions. Again, this is slow stitching is just mindless stitching, nothing to it. And this is actually, I started this for like a Christmas ribbon to wrap gifts with. And that's what I like using this for. It's just little things, or use it as a snippet roll. I can cut it and put it on a card, anything. It doesn't have to be, it's neither masculine or feminine. You can use it for anything. And I may even, now this of course would make it more feminine, but I may add some lace here and there and do a little weaving in and out and off, you know, off the, well, here, let me show you. Hang on. Okay, I did this for my husband. This is an example of slow stitching. And let me find a, okay, here we go. So this right here is the thicker cotton. I use the wider needle, wider eye. I use the chenille needle. And see how I went off of the fabric, off of this? I just kept going and I just did a few stitches. I like that look. That's more Boro stitching, B-O-R-O, than anything, but it's a slow stitch, okay? That's what I enjoyed doing. And I didn't even have to concentrate. I just stitched away and did it. And this is more Sashiko stitching, but it's still slow stitching. Some more example of slow stitching, okay? So you get the idea. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you've stayed this long, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, leave comments if you have any more ideas or more wisdom you would like to share with us. We all like reading it. And yes, thanks for watching.